Well, for all you dash cam lovers out there, I do have another one to take a peek at. This one with dual cameras, both inside and outside viewing. How we doing today, folks? I'm back with another video review, and this is on the Rexing dash cam. This is their V3 dash cam. This has, and I don't have it here right now. It's actually mounted in my vehicle, and we're gonna actually head to my vehicle here shortly, take a peek at it in action. This camera has both an outdoor, and actually, if you want to look at the picture here, this is the outdoor viewing camera. It's actually facing forward, and then this camera on the side, actually you rotate and you aim inside the cabin to get, obviously whatever's going on inside. So if it can be self-incriminating, right? If you were, oh man, I was grabbing my fries, my drink spilled, and then I crashed, well, I know exactly now why I crashed. That's the big thing about it, is that you'll know what's going on. It also can obviously save you, is that, no, you were paying attention, everything was good, and he hit you, right, kind of things. But most likely, you're going to catch other people getting in an accident. That's the other thing about these, is that how many things you'll capture just by filming. I can't tell you how many times I've already gone back to my various dash cams to pull footage, not only of outside shots, but inside the cabin shots when certain things happened. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not so funny. But it's always, in my opinion, handy to have. It really is. And I love having a dash cam, usually at least one in my vehicles. Usually I have two or more because I'm testing various things. But this case, this is the Rexing dash cam. Now, this is not a connected dash cam. This is one that's a standard, put the memory, the micro SD card in and record. It can record both single or dual mode, so you can record off just one camera or both cameras. So if you don't want it filming you on the cabin, you don't have to have it filming you that way. In dual mode, when you're running both cameras, it has a 1080p top quality recording capability. But if you do the single camera, they do claim 2160p. Now, it's only like 24 frames per second, so it's kind of that cinematic type feel, so not as good. I would definitely take it down to 1440p because they do 30 frames per second, or at 1080 with a single camera, you can do 60 frames per second. Just get substantially better quality of video, especially if you're trying to get, pick up license plates, things like that. That higher frame rate's definitely going to help you in that regard. So, it has a built-in GPS logger, which can tell your speed and all that stuff. Built-in Wi-Fi, that's how you're going to connect to your camera, or to your phone, sorry. It does do infrared at night. I will say this camera does pretty darn good at night. The downside to this camera, and actually they have fixed it for the most part in a software update. I was having issues with the camera on the inside, kind of at that just right time of day, at just the right time of year, when it wasn't really bright outside, it wasn't really dark outside. It was kind of that early morning hours, right, where the sun's coming up, but it's not quite up. It's dark, but it's not dark, right? It's kind of in that in between. The inside would go from infrared mode to standard mode to infrared mode to standard mode. They did do a firmware update, which actually one of the things I was holding out on this review, because I've had this a little bit longer than usual. I was holding to wait to see if that firmware update fixed it. That said, that time of year passed before I even got the fix. I got the fix, and I haven't noticed it since. So I can't say with a 100% certainty that they did fully fix that issue. It was only happening on my drive to work within this 2-3 week period of time, and after that it didn't happen because the drive to work, while the time didn't change, obviously the sun's setting and raising certain times of year, right, changes. So that said, guys, I did want to bring that up because it is something that I think, and they've claimed to have fixed it, and I have not seen it since, but then again, the time of year is different. So with that said, there is a small display on this one. You can see the outdoor viewing camera or the inside or both. The one thing I don't like so much about this is the Wi-Fi capability, and I'll kind of touch on that here shortly. So let's head up to the truck. Let's take a peek at it in use in the vehicle, and then we'll head back down here to close up and fix up shop. Okay, so here we are in my truck, and I have the camera, as you can see up here, It's actually to the right of my mirror and I guess the lane departure system, which is this guy right here. It's kind of mounted off further to the right or further to the passenger side than most cameras. It does recommend you kind of going off to the side of the mirror, but in my case, because of the lane departure, I had to go a little bit further to the right than usual. However, even with that, the wide angle of the lens is actually wide enough to actually get my face. Let me kick on the power here so it actually boots it up. Because it does plug into the cigarette lighter plug. And of course, there we go. I have it currently set to where it actually just displays the outside footage, because that's the only footage that I really care about, but I still do have the cabin display, or the cabin camera, attached to it. The one big thing that I dislike with this is that it's always set to automatically block Wi-Fi and just power and work, right? Which I appreciate that, but at the same time, you can kind of see it up here, there's actually a little red symbol next to the Wi-Fi. Anytime I want to connect my phone to it, I've kind of got to do the whole menu system, and of course, figuring out where in the menu, how to get to the menu. Let's see here. There we go. And going over to, or let's see, over. There we go. Down to Wi-Fi. Hit OK. Turn it on. Hit OK. And then every time I turn this baby off and it loses power, the Wi-Fi system loses itself again, right? And so it actually, I can connect to it with my phone, but it's not going to connect to my phone every time I turn off and turn on the camera. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not something that's necessary so much, but when you want to pull the footage off, you can pull it off of the Wi-Fi. Otherwise, you have to the memory card sticking up. You can kind of almost see it. It's kind of sticking up there. I do have it set, or I should say the system itself is set to easily detach and take with you. So if you want to see what the camera looks like, this is what it looks like right here. And then there's that sensor right there that can tell how much light is out there. Memory card sticking up top, and then all the menu buttons down below. And of course now I'm hitting it. Alright, just take that back up there. I have the cable, the power rounded all the way down. You can kind of see it a little bit, but down below, and then it's just plugged into the cigarette lighter because it doesn't come with a USB cable, even though it is a USB fed system. So it's a mini USB, and so it'll automatically turn off when it loses power. So every time you turn on the vehicle. In mine, I don't have a continuous 12-volt plug there. So it's a nice thing because it starts to stop, so as you can see, the Wi-Fi is being blocked already. So ups and downs, nothing's perfect, but the quality of the video, I'm going to show you a couple of videos here real quick, and then you can kind of keep in mind and take a peek at what you think of the quality. I'm going to show the outside camera first of just me driving down the road, and then I'll have the inside camera view. I'll do maybe both a day and night on each to show you what it looks like outside and then inside during the day, during the night, and then we'll wrap up in the studio. So that is the Rexing dash cam. Like I said, I do like how you can get it kind of hidden more for the driver, but where it is positioned and where they recommend positioning it off to the side there, how I did it, it does block a little bit of the interior view camera. It is off to the side, but you're going to get more of the passenger side than you are the driver's side, but that you could change by just moving where you're mounting it. The other thing is, anytime you have a top view, a camera that you mounted toward the top, you always have more routing for the cable, which can be a little annoying. In my case, it wasn't too bad, but I do want to bring that up because I typically like the ones that are mounted lower because they're much easier to get the power down. It does come with that standard DC 12-volt cigarette lighter plug adapter. I really wish it didn't. I really wish it came with a standard USB cord. Now you could buy a USB cord and use it that way. So I'm just saying what's in the box. Rexy, if there's one thing to change on this, bring in a standard USB cable and then put in the cigarette lighter adapter. That way I can actually plug it into my into my glove box or something if I have a USB port in there that's not being used. It just gives me more options. It also makes it easier to route the cable. I can actually route it either direction versus directly from the actual cigarette lighter plug. So, or basically up. I could go either way. So it just gives me more options. That's what I would say. That's what I recommend. Quality video, solid. If you have any questions on this guy at all, please reach out. Now, of course, I showed you some test video footage from it. It's just test footage. It's just video shot while I was driving. But that said, if you have any questions about it at all, please reach out. Let me know. That said, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing this video if you can. And we'll catch you back here for a future video review here on techgooch. Thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you soon.